on YouTube. There we go. So the preps are now done. If you give it an additional second, then we'll be streaming live on YouTube. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Medical Mondays with Dr. O. I'm so excited about tonight. So I'm not surprised at how it started. I am Dr. Toyin, a family practitioner, HIV specialist, and I treat addictions. I also have a passion for what we do right now, chat on medical issues and especially prevention. We've seen a lot going on in our world today. Disease entities that we were not akin to, cancers of every sort, even in younger people. And all of it seems to be bulging down to what we put in our mouths, what we ingest, the food we eat, lack of exercise. So on Medical Mondays, we've done a lot on diet, exercise, prevention, really. And we had a session with Dr. Sandhu, who put us through weeks of lifestyle change. We then had the privilege to have Dr. Gillum put a group of us again through lifestyle change. So tonight, we're here to share with you what we did, what we learned, what we gained, what we lost, and all we did during this session with Dr. Gillum in changing our lifestyles. We have some phenomenal participants that I would introduce as they come on, and I would seek their indulgence to help me complete introductions, because I'm just going to do generic introductions as we start. But before we go there, I'm going to start with Dr. Marsha Gillum, a naturopathic doctor who is just, she's a sister, she's a teacher, an educator, a people lover, a giver who gave a time and knowledge to us without even charging us. So, Dr. Marsha Gillum, you have the floor.
Well, I hope you can hear me because I am in my car. I dropped my phone and the screen was cracked, so I stopped to get the screen fixed. So hopefully everyone can hear me.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh, let's see if I can. It said my video was stopped, but I don't know how to, from here, see if I can get it to.
So if you just unmute the video, I think
Let me see if I can do that. Oops, that's backwards.
Technology.
I don't know if I can. It's just showing me to myself, but I don't know if I can get it to. Maybe it's the way I logged in, or maybe it's the way I called in. No, it's not showing the video.
If it's showing you yourself, you probably flipped the camera to show you, right?
Yeah.
Computer gurus, help
me.
I
don't. Well,
we need Dr. Adjei's voodoo.
I know. I need a kid to fix my video.
So let's go ahead. We'll enjoy your voice, and the rest of your team, your students, will make sure we put out videos on to compensate. So go ahead.
Yeah, to the bottom right, there's a half closed circle. It's not a full circle. That is, if you click on that, it should flip you back to normal.
Okay, let me see
Because
if I can get it.
Mhm.
See, but my little circle, let's see.
It's not a full circle. It just looks like a circle, almost closing. So click on that. That should flip you back.
It has something like an arrow
Madam
around that
VP.
circle.
Oh, I see it. Now I see it. There we go.
There we go. Thank you, Madam VP.
Filming live from the car. Live in living color from my automobile. And it's raining today. It's so wonderful. We've been having rain.
Well, that is good after your 100 plus degree temperatures in California. So the rain is a welcome present.
Oh, I know. After 116 and 114 degrees, I'm welcoming some rain and cooler weather,
Yes.
much cooler weather.
The table is yours to tell us about the Elf Matters 2 that we had.
So we just completed it last week, and it was actually, I really enjoyed it myself because
We don't see you again.
because my sound is not very high. So
Sound is fine.
okay, so
Let's go
we
ahead.
completed it last week. We had our last session, and I really enjoyed it myself because I was, as I was telling everyone in the forum, that they really caused me to step up. If you're teaching about health, you have to walk the walk and talk the talk, right? So I had to step up and, really, I actually added another module that wasn't in the first one because we had an extra week. So I added another module. So I really enjoyed the enthusiasm of everyone that attended and the postings on WhatsApp and the responses on our Google Classroom. And so this is the first time I'd used the Google Classroom for this particular application. I'd used it in the school setting, and then, I did a little survey at the end, and it was kind of like 50-50 with the Google Classroom and the WhatsApp. And I really enjoyed some of the pictures of the food that people posted on WhatsApp, some of their meals that they prepared, and the smoothies. And, it was interesting that when you're doing a lifestyle change, you don't necessarily have to leave your culture, because especially African food, because African food is already healthy. It's just a few tweaks that needed to be done in order to apply it, like take out a few of the things that aren't as healthy and add more of the fruits and vegetables, because there's so much they're already in our countries that are healthy for us. And some things that people have been saying that are not healthy, that we have to readapt or readopt into our diet. So it was a learning experience for everyone, because I learned a lot about some of the African dishes and how some of the people in the forum were using some of the African dishes and making them more healthy by using the right kinds of fats and maybe less of the wrong kinds of sugars, and some of the other things that I noticed that were applied to food that was already healthy for you. So it was fun to me. I love to teach, so that was right. Like,
so
this is not work. This is fun.
Lifestyle change. What is the program about? What is it? What is the lifestyle change from your perspective, from the naturopathic perspective?
Well, lifestyle change is just transitioning. It's not like a diet, because diets we can fall off of or fall in and out of. It's every day we're making changes to what we do, how we eat, how we exercise, how we sleep, the amount of water we drink, and things that we should be doing that we may not be doing to the full extent to have a healthy life. Lifestyle change is an ongoing lifelong experience, because as we learn something new, then we apply something new, because the science is always changing. Science changes every day, and some of the things that we thought were good for us are not, and some of the things we didn't think were okay, they really are, like coconut oil and palm oil. So they were telling us all the time, oh, don't use palm oil, but palm oil is a healthy fat. So a lifestyle change is every day. We're living according to what is going to make us healthy, live longer, live a better quality of life. So it's all those things. And I'm going to stop talking and let someone else talk. some of the participants in the,
Thank you so much.
Forum.
Talking about palm oil, it's very interesting that you brought that up. I remembered arguing that point with Brother Mike Oye, Dr. Mike Oye, when I said, oh no, it's saturated fats. We allopats actually preach against it. But, it's interesting what we learn every day. So now I'm going to bring the participants of the Health Matters 2 to share with us what their experiences were. And it doesn't mean that when a participant comes on, they will not come back again during this session. They can, if they remember something, they want to share more, we're going to do that. It's going to be a fun night, but it's a learning night. So I pray that we all will be attentive, because there's a lot to be learned. And so I'm going to call on Madam VP, we call her favorably, or Madam CEO. You can take your pick, whichever one you want to call her. Madam CEO Lara Okunubi. You have the floor, ma'am.
Why I gotta be the first one, Mr. Toyin? All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an exciting ride with Dr. G. But I'm going to start with a quote that says, and I can't even remember who said it, but something like, I may not remember what you said, I may not remember what you did, but I'll never forget how you make me feel. Yes. You know who it is? Looks like that lady's repeating it. I will never forget how you made me feel. That is my number one takeaway in working with Dr. G and my teammates. Because, there was a key word she shared with us. Every time we're trying to stretch, I said, it's a transition. It's a transition. It's a transition. And guess what? Some of us milked that word the best way we could. When we're eating food we're not supposed to eat, we just say, it's a transition. But, it was exciting because we were all having a good time doing it. It wasn't a bunch of do this and don't do that, because you know what? When you create a too many list of to-dos, you could unwittingly stress yourself out while you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to do something. But weight loss was not the goal. Weight loss was one of the outcomes that came out of it, because I lost 9 pounds in 6 weeks. Yay. But we learned a lot of things. We shared our meals. It brought out the creative, nutritional creativity out of me. Because when it comes to food, I am one of those food that I'm very boring. I eat bread every day and I eat rice every day. My life is good. But Dr. G did not say, no, you couldn't eat that. She just said, well, you have to substitute that. They have to be vegetables. They have to be this. She didn't even say you cannot do this or do that. So we're learning how to eat vegetables. We're learning how to add different things, fiber. She taught us about vitamins. She taught us about oil. And there was a few weird rules. One of those weird rules was don't drink water right after a meal. I never heard of that before. You have to wait 45 minutes. That's contrary to how I grew up. You're supposed to be drinking water, maybe because, we grow up with not enough food. So you drink water to fill up your stomach. But she's saying, no, do not drink water right after a meal. You have to wait for 45 minutes. So that was something new that I learned. She taught us about oil. I didn't know that avocado oil is the healthiest. Some of us were already, working on canola oil. She said, no. So she gave us all of those education. We had a good time preparing a sobo drink, because sobo is very good for you. It takes care of a lot of inflammation. And when you are over 60, that's one of those symptoms that you're highly likely to experience. So for me, it wasn't like a lifetime change or lifestyle change. It's just a reinvention for me, because my lifestyle was already set at over 60. I do what I do. I do what works for me. But learning little things to modify and make adjustment was really, really good. And I enjoyed every day that we met. I enjoyed every exchange on the WhatsApp, and Dr. G's, counsel. And of course, we had our own number one cheerleader there, Dr. O. Every posting, she will give us a thumbs up. She will give, if you're not posting, she'll be like, what's going on? Don't fall off the wagon, all kinds. So it was very encouraging and very exciting. I had a great time. And, I'll do it again in a heartbeat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know what? Sister Tokumbo got the person who said that quote, Carl W. Brunner. Madam VP, your quote.
Yeah, I gave her a thumbs up. I already knew it.
I don't remember how you make me, what you say to me. I remember how you make me feel.
Yes. So the class was not intimidating. I did not feel like I had to work on pins and needles. It was just so relaxing, but we learned a lot and we gained a lot. That's the reason I used that quote, because, I didn't feel beat up after coming from 6-week class. And the timing also, the schedule was very adequate, because if he had gone longer than that, we had too many to-dos in our community. But one of the pet peeves that I expressed to Dr. O is that Nigerian parties will not allow us to lose weight. When you go to Nigerian party, they be bringing amala at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So that knocked me off my program a couple of times, but it's all good.
Actually, I know, you're very humble, and I appreciate your comments, but because I know you in particular, I was shocked when you said you were going to participate in this lifestyle change journey. And I was thinking, she's not going to do it. She's set in her ways, she's going to eat that meat. She's going to eat that chicken, she's going to just do what she wanted to do. But no, you were fantastic. You were the best poster on there, on the forum. You shared what you ate every day. And I was shocked every time I saw that you were actually eating vegetables. There was no meat. You were eating mushrooms. And everything you posted was so yummy, made my mouth water. So I say congratulations, because it's a lifestyle change. The journey had started, and you taught us a lot too. You taught me a lot. And so thank you. Thank you. So Dr. Faith Hannah Adjei, are you there? My doctor and pastor. Dr. Hannah.
Hi.
I saw you here before a few minutes ago. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Thank you. Where's the put on your face?
Where I am,
Okay, I'll let you work on that camera. I'll call the next person. I'll call someone else until you can work on that camera. We have to see you. So, Sister Tinu, Sister Tina, are you there? Kindly unmute. She's at the gym, by the way, and this is fantastic. This is somebody who started, you know, when we started that night, I posted an exercise, the lady who laid down against the wall, and that simple exercise. When I called her that same night, right after Medical Mondays, she was on the floor exercising, doing that. And right now she's at the gym. So enjoy. Sister Tina, please come on.
Yes, hi. Actually, I am on my way to the gym. I
You
was
are,
running
so
late.
we want to see you.
Yeah. Because I'm driving, it's going to be tough. But you can hear when I get to the gym, and if I have other things to say, then I can say then.
Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My brothers and sisters. It's really like Sister Lara said. It's a life-changing journey. It's not a diet like I thought. I thought it was a diet at first because I have done 2 diets, which was stupid of me. If I had known better, I wouldn't even have done it, because I lost weight and I gained that weight and some more because I was eating the food and everything, and then I stopped. And so I decided to try this and say, okay, let's see where this will take me. And oh my goodness, before I started, people thought that I was pregnant. I traveled somewhere and my cousins were saying, auntie, are you pregnant? Because you can't be because of your age. And I'm saying, no, I'm not pregnant. It's my big stomach. That's what it is. So when I when I did this life-changing life-changing thing, my goodness, you should see my stomach right now. It's gone down. I've been yes, I actually, honestly, I lost about 20 pounds on within 6 weeks. What I did, first of all, when I first started, I am so grateful to both Dr. O and Dr. Gillum, because I started, and even Sister Auntie Lara, because we have to share what we eat, which is a great thing. It is really, really good that we have to share what we eat, because people can then critique you. Not that they're making fun of you, but they're just criticizing, like, are you serious that that's all you're going to eat? Or wait a minute, are you sure that's good or something? Which I loved. So when I first started, I was eating 6 peanuts for breakfast. And so Dr. O and Dr. G, they called me and said, we got to talk, because that's not enough nutrients for you. You need to have some vegetables and other things to supplement what you're eating. And so what I did was I changed that, listened to them, and changed my diet from just eating peanuts to eating peanuts with vegetables, or eating peanuts with smoothies, which I didn't know that I can actually do fruit smoothies. I hated fruits. So now I did that, and it helped me with my food of the day. So just having your mates being on the phone. So we have meetings every Sunday, and we will talk about what we've done. We have to post every day our food, and so that people can see what you are eating, and they can get ideas from what you are eating and stuff like that. So they are not there to criticize you, they are not there to make fun of you. They're just there to point out stuff, because there's times that you will see what somebody posted and you say, oh my goodness, I didn't know I could do this, or I didn't know I could do that. So it was very, very, very supportive, very informative. And Dr. G, I really, really appreciate your patience with us. I was under the notion that you can't use palm oil. And I didn't even know that you could. The other thing that I did not know was I used to use olive oil to cook food, and I realized that I can't even use olive oil to cook food. I can use it in my salad, but not for frying. So it was it was a very, very good experience, and I really appreciate Dr. O giving me the opportunity to participate in this beautiful group. Thank you. If I have other things to say, I'll say it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And, I'm so excited because you're such an inspiration. It's amazing. I'm glad you mentioned the olive oil, because we're not supposed to be cooking with olive oil. Once you heat it up, then, it becomes toxic to you. Olive oil is excellent, though, to put on not just salads, but, last night I ate, salmon that was, and after it was cooked and it's actually cooled down, I added olive oil to it, just spread it across it, and it was very tasty. So olive oil that way, put on anything that is cold, not something you cook, is actually is very healthy. Thank you. So I'm going to call on Pastor Dr. Fawole. I know she's here. Dr. Fawole, our very own Dr. Fawole.
Thank you, Dr. O. And of course, Dr. Gillum and everybody. The class, I learned a lot. I gained a lot. I guess the first thing I would say, I gained, just like they say, knowledge is power. So I gained a lot of knowledge. Just like the scripture says, faith comes by hearing, hearing the word of God. So hearing all the lessons about the oil, about the meat, the fish, the eggs, it becomes something that kind of drives you. So I learned that our popular fish, and I forget the name already, it's not good for you at all. Tilapia, thank you.
Or catfish. Okay,
tilapia. That tilapia is not good for you at all.
Yeah, it has omega-6 fatty acid. It doesn't have omega-3. Yeah.
And I did not know that before. And I have some in my freezer. And since that day, I couldn't cook it. I actually take everything out. The only fish that is left in my freezer now is the red snapper. And that's what I meant when I said the knowledge is power. And now I began to read labels of everything at all that I pick up in the store. And I had to look at the labels. What does it say? What are the ingredients? Are these good for you? Before I will purchase. Besides getting that knowledge, now I use lemon as my salad dressing, instead of using, the regular dressing as I used to do. And it tastes really good. I thought they would be very difficult to do. Like, oh my God, what do you eat? If you don't eat meat, you don't eat fish, you don't eat eggs, you can't eat this bread, they're not good for you. So what is really good for you? But surprisingly, after learning about all the substitutes, then it's really not as difficult as I thought it would be. So, yes, it is a life transformation. But I think the moment we make that decision to make that transformation and step on it, then we begin to see changes. For me, I have more energy. I've lost some of my waist obesity, as I always call it. And I am less constipated than I used to. Because I don't eat a lot, but I have a lot of constipation, but that has stopped, which I'm very, very grateful for. I also gained friendship, just like we always say, I think there's a quote that says that friendship will make gains for you, and friendship will always bring you joy. And I feel like I can call anyone from that class if I have any question, and they will be able to say, oh, okay, I think this is right. I think this might be, how about you check this one out? So I'm very, very grateful for that as well. So, and it is not just for me. So we know that once, as we're learning this, we're sharing it with our family members, we're sharing it with our friends. So a lot of people are being helped, through this class. And I probably cannot express very deeply my appreciation for this class, for the knowledge, for the friendship, and for the health benefits that I have received. So thank you to Dr. Gillum again, and also to Dr. O, and to all my classmates. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you so much, because you contributed so much too. You did. And you're right. It's a lifestyle change. The side effect is weight loss. And everything you've listed, this is fantastic. I'm going to bring another pastor doctor on. Pastor Dr. Hannah Faith Adjei. The floor is yours, please. That's my darling sis. Come on.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much, Dr. G, for all that you did for us. For me, it was a refreshment class for me, because I read a lot, and most of the things I'd come across them, but attending this class, I realized that you were not a strict person, like Madam CEO said. You are flexible, and anyone that came to the class had fun. It wasn't, don't do this, don't do that. You encouraged us more to keep to the things that we are learning. And for that, I applaud you, that you didn't make us feel bad. It was fun being in that class. I've forgotten the man who used to share a lot's name, but
it's coming. Amazing Toyin. How can you forget his name? He has the same name.
Yeah, Mr. Amazing Toyin was great. I like the way he was always making us enjoy the class, all the things that he shared. I really loved it. It was an amazing class. So thank you so much for all the information you taught us with, not just talking to us, but you had your note and you shared with us. So if we had to write something down, I could quickly put it down and all that, and the reading of the labels. Thank you so much. I'm sure the next time this class is up, many who couldn't get the opportunity to attend, they will sign up for it, because it's something that we all have to attend to learn great knowledge, to improve the way we live. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your contributions too during the class. Much appreciated. Sister Ibidun Toweh, all the way from Nigeria, by way of US, Britain, Nigeria. You have the floor.
Thank you so much,
Get
Dr.
your camera out. I know you're in Nigeria. We want to see your face.
Unfortunately, this particular phone will not give me that. Please bear with me.
But do you have electricity?
I do, yeah, I do have electricity, but it's just that the camera has issue. Sorry about that, man.
Go ahead. I think we can.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Gill. I feel very guilty that I was not very participatory as I was, intending to be, because I was traveling a lot, and that affected me. But it's been my lifestyle all the while. I just wanted to improve that lifestyle, just to be more intentional about, my diet all through the day. And, over the period we had those sessions. But I did my best. At least in the area of smoothie, I was very much committed to having smoothie. And because I was, going between visiting, so I couldn't really commit solely to it, but I did what I was expected to do. My usual routine, my salad was, on point. And for the olive oil, it's something that I had to struggle with because of, like I said, I was visiting. So it was more of, me educating people about their lifestyle, what they need to embrace. And I did it, in a very humble way so that people won't, feel offended. And they were quite excited. They wanted to know more about it. So thank you very much, Dr. Gill, for that for bringing yourself out there to disseminate this information, and is highly commendable. Thank you so much, Dr. O, for the opportunity of making us share in the wealth of knowledge of this platform. God bless you all, and by God's grace, I'll continue to improve every day, because that is what this life is all about. The constant thing in this life is change. You keep changing, improving. God bless you.
Yeah, that's my credo too, is as things change, as you find out more information, you make the changes in your lifestyle. You can't do something you don't know. So if you don't know, then you just go along and you do the best you can with the knowledge that you have. But as you gain more knowledge, then you start making changes, more changes in your lifestyle, so that you can continue to improve and become better at, eating well and eliminating things that you find out are not good for you. So it's an ongoing thing, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifelong learning situation. Because I learn stuff every day, especially with these newfangled foods and additives and all that stuff that I didn't know about until I started actually doing research on it, and listening to some like TED Talks, and then I can share this information with some of my colleagues who are teachers, and some of my colleagues who are teachers that also have students that have different disabilities, and how they should eat. Because a lot of the behaviors and stuff that my kids exhibit is because of their diet. If the parents would change their diet, then they wouldn't have the behaviors, the ADHD and ADD and all the initials that they put on our kids. A lot of it has to do with the way they're eating. So that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Auntie Toweh, you have a question. Go ahead, ma'am, before I call on the next participant.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to back what Ibidun Toweh said. This is a lifestyle, since I know her. They don't buy anything in the market. They grow their own food stuff, and they live plant-based life. And she confided in me. She's trying to open a restaurant that is just going to be plant-based in Nigeria. So, hey, Ibidun, right on. We are backing you up, okay? That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Auntie Toweh.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you. I am enjoying the bitter leaf you sent me all the way from Tampa, Florida, that you grow. Mine is growing now too. It's amazing. Yes, the dried ones you gave me, I'm putting in my smoothie. Somebody came to visit me. I wanted fruits. So I said, oh, why don't you just, instead of eating a particular fruit, let me make this, just make a smoothie and add vegetable. She said, do you have bitter leaf? I said, well, I'm surprised you asked. Yes, I do. All he put in was bitter leaf and had me taste it. I was blown up the water. I'm like, why am I putting kale that I don't know where it was planted in my smoothie? So bitter leaf is it. It has this taste, aftertaste that is so amazing, lingers in your mouth for hours. It's great. Thank you so much for that organic, homegrown bitter leaf. I'm gonna pay it forward. Once I get my trees and bitter leaf, I'll start sharing with people. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so Sister Tina, I think you have something to say. Wonderful.
Yes, I wanted to say that one of the things that I also learned from our group together was going to the bathroom every time you finish a meal. I didn't know that you're supposed to do that. I thought it was like once a day. I didn't know it was at every meal. That's when you have to go to the bathroom to ease yourself. Yeah, so that was something that I learned also.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. There are questions in the chat box that I'm going to, ask later. But, you guys will be wondering, is it all ladies? Where were the men? Well, let me tell you, I think the men were phenomenal on our platform. They were there. Like people are in groups and they just there. No, our men were there. So I'm going to call on Mr. Bankole, who his wife is at work now, but she attested that he has been doing way better than she has done. So Mr. Bankole, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm actually driving, so good evening. Good evening. I just wanted to say a big thank you to Dr. G and Dr. O. Like I said previously, I initially wasn't excited about taking part, but my wife insisted that Dr. O insisted that I join and that I should be there. And so I did. And at the end of the day, it was a blessing that I did. So my story is a little bit different because I'm not a fan of Nigerian food. I eat a lot of steak. I don't eat fish. So incorporating the lifestyle change, and that particular phrase, lifestyle change, actually made it a lot easier because when I got cases had foods that we weren't supposed to eat, and my friends would make fun of me, oh, you're on a diet. I said, no, it's a lifestyle change. And it actually helped and made it a little bit more, just a little bit easier to accomplish. And what I eventually did was I started substituting a lot of food like rice. I'm not a big rice eater, but I ended up making rice out of quinoa. We made jollof rice out of quinoa, and it tasted fantastic. And I think I actually posted it, and I'm not a big vegetable in terms of a 4-year-old eater. And I told her, I said, you know what, start eating. And I started eating it. I started eating certain kinds of fish, which I would have never done, but I'm trying to cut that out. I'm trying to replace that with the meat. So it's a gradual process for me. So I started eating just a little bit of fish to have something, substituting the meat. And gradually, because I don't really like fish, I know eventually it'll probably go away. But I once went to the doctor for a physical. And while we were there, he made a statement. He said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And he was referring to food. And he said, because we live in America, a lot of times we have access and we have funds to buying different kinds of food, fast food or whatever it may be. And he said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So a lot of times now, when I see food or when I see these things that I want, I would eat. I would remember that statement. That yeah, I can, but I shouldn't. And then the lifestyle, with the lifestyle change, it really helped the process a lot. And so right now it's just a matter of substituting a whole lot of food, with the right ones. But I would like to say a big thank you to Dr. O and Dr. G and everybody else that kept posting, even though I only posted once or twice. But all those posted really helped, because I would look at it and get ideas from that. And that really helped the process a lot for me. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the fact that you have embarked on a lifestyle change. See, why is this important? Because the health of one is the health of all of us. When we are all healthy, then we can continue to do amazing things together. So thank you so much. And please bring your wife along stronger. She confided in me that you've taken the lead. You're losing weight, which is a side effect, but you're having all the benefits that you should have in the lifestyle change. Thank you. So I want to bring on one of our participants who actually had background in this. And oh my gosh, I think it's worth it to hear what he has to share. I'm bringing on Mr. Dawodu, who we just lovingly call Amazing Toyin, because he is amazing in every realm. And so I'm going to call him Amazing Toyin for this purpose. Also, Amazing Toyin, sir. Come on, sir.
Thank you, Dr. O and Dr. Gillum. Thank you so much. So until I met Dr. O, I thought I was one of the hardest working persons I know until I met Dr. O. Your hard work is so amazing to me. I just think about it, how you could do it every day. And I want to thank you especially because I would not have been in this program if not for you. Well, I have a background in technology. I went to college for food technology, but I don't recall ever taking a nutrition class in the 4 years I spent there, because the most important things we learn is how to restructure food for mass production, preserve food. So the nutritional aspect was not part of the deal. And we didn't, I didn't think we needed it, or I was not educated enough at that time in my teenage years, when I began college. So fast forward to several years, I did enjoy nutrition a lot. And at some point when this class was introduced, I didn't think I needed it. But having learned a few things from Dr. O's Medical Mondays, I figure, well, you can't lose. And I'm really thankful and I'm grateful for participating. At some point I thought, damn, I'm the only man here. And every once in a while I see Dr. Bankole there, right? So I felt comfortable. Dr. Gillum is a special person because this kind of information that she gave us, you can't even buy it with money. And in order for you to acquire the knowledge, it will take you a lot of time. And most of us don't have time. That's our number one problem right there. We don't have a lot of time. And the 1 hour we committed every Sunday, or 1.5 hours, is worth its weight in gold. And so anyone listening right now, if this class is ever offered again, I would jump in, because what I learned in the 5 or 6 weeks that we were there is more important and very valuable compared to what I've learned about food, because there's a lot of confusion about food and the information that we read. Anybody can justify their position with statistics. For example, one of our most important food in Nigeria is cooking with oil, right? And so you could go on the internet and you will see several opposing positions as to the value of palm oil. Until I attended Dr. Gillum, who now explains to me that, you know what, palm oil is actually good for you. The other one is the olive oil. And I used to cook with olive oil. I mean, I buy it by the gallon, not by the bottle, right? So, and the other thing I used to do with olive oil, from what I read, was that you could actually drink it. So I used to drink like a teaspoon, every morning for the longest. But during this class, I learned that, look, avocado oil is actually better. And so I bought avocado oil and I've started using it. I still use my olive oil for salads and stuff like that. So the number one problem we have worldwide, and especially in developing countries like Nigeria, is the lack of knowledge as to what our food is meant for. And through this program, the first thing Dr. Gillum stated was, your food is your fuel. Number one, it's fuel for your body. And number two, it's like medicine for your body to repair your cells, and to maintain your muscles and all your organs. That's what food is for. But humans, we are the only one that actually eat food for taste. Like my cat, she eats the same food every day. But we change because that's the nature of our being, put it that way. So I want to thank the participants, because I learned so much from them, and especially all the postings. I did a few postings, but the thing I like the most is that our food can actually be structured or prepared, okay, to nutritionally, because most people think, well, the only food you could eat nutritionally is the Western food, but we eat a lot of vegetables. It's just a question of how you prepare it. For example, we don't eat as much fresh vegetables in Africa, because when you cook your efo, you boil the damn thing until it's completely devoid of protein, nutrients, and everything. And so we learn here that you could steam it and you could do gentle cooking and still enjoy it without killing it. I also learned that drinking beer just because it's got barley does not count as a vegetable. Or drinking wine does not count as a fruit, right? I tried to convince Dr. Gillum of that, but she won't have any of that. So I guess I was the comedian of the group, but I enjoy bringing the comedy in just to spice it up and make everyone laugh. But during the laughter, people actually learn the difference between what barley is supposed to do. Just because it's in beer doesn't mean that it's going to do the same thing if you consume it in a different way. I learned so much about raw honey, right? I get it by the bottles, but I never really distinguished that the raw one, unfiltered, is better compared to all this processed honey that we use. Because at some point I stopped eating sugar in my coffee or in my tea, so I went to honey. But I still consume a lot of it, and it's actually sugar in a way, but when you consume it raw, then it's better for you compared to processed ones. So what else did I learn? Now the other thing is which Dr. O said this several times, right? So ignorance of what we eat, okay, is the number one problem most of us face, and due to lack of knowledge. And that ignorance is the number one cause of diseases. And so if we eat our food as medicine, in the future, we will not eat our medicine as food, because about 50, I don't know, Dr. O probably know this more than I do. 50-60% of the people in the US have at least one medication. I'm not talking about food or vegetable. They have one medication. Some people have 3, 4, 5, 6. So these people, if they had eaten their food as medicine 10, 20, 30 years ago, they probably would not be dependent on drugs right now. And that's the essence of this program. And I am really happy that I came. I want to thank Dr. O, thank my classmates. Dr. Gillum, thank you so much. And if anybody has a question, let me bring this up. So this morning, my attorney in Nigeria sent me this news item, right? And it stated, let me read it. It stated, U.S. government has approved. It's a breaking news. U.S. approves new GM purple tomatoes. Okay, GM means what is that? GMO, right? GMO group purple. So this tomatoes is actually purple. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yes. Yes.
So I sent him this tomato is supposed to fight cancer or help fight cancer. So I sent him a text back. I said, well, you'll probably give you another cancer anyway. So so the GMO tomato into purple supposed to fight cancer. I don't know the extent of it, but I told him we're leery of GMO foods here, right? And smart people try to avoid GMO foods. And he said, well, don't you guys eat GMO foods there? I said, yeah, we do, but if you're smart, you avoid it. So that's my last piece. And Dr. O can comment on it because, I mean, how do you eat a freaking purple tomatoes? All right.
That's new on me. Thank you so much, sir. So much appreciate you. And, you just exemplify goodness and greatness. You showed us, I think Dr. Gillum and I had the privilege for you to show us your garden, where you actually grow the bitter leaves, and I'm waiting for bitter leaf.
Me too. Oh,
First one, don't worry. I sent Dr. O sugar cane, right?
And sugar cane and stuff like that. You actually showed us your garden, showing examples.
I have my own chickens now, right?
Exactly. That's home-raised chicken without chemicals, without hormones, without antibiotics. Any of us that have the opportunity to do that, it is a blessing so that you grow yours. GMO is genetically modified, right, Dr. Gillum?
yes, genetically modified organisms.
Organism.
And it was a surprise that, if you buy, there are tomatoes that the seeds have been passed down from generation to generation, and some of them already have that purple color in it. So why would someone try to create something that is naturally occurring? There are tomatoes that already have those colors with the purples and the different color reds and the different color yellows and greens and stuff that are natural. So why would someone have to come up with one when the father already created one?
They can pretend that the new one is better, and then they can charge more money.
Okay. Right.
Actually, I don't think that is sold in the US. I don't know. I'm going to look it up to see, because these days one have to cross-check information. My youngest son has been on my case about that, because before I would see something on WhatsApp and I would just send it to them. I would be like, Mom, you can fact check this.
I know.
Stop sending things like this to people. And God knows how many people I've sent it to before, I send it to them. So I've stopped that. I'm going to fact.
So this thing was actually, according to this news item, it was genetically engineered in the UK. And it's taken them 11 years for the US government to approve it.
But why would the US government approve that? I don't know.
Well, after they've convinced them that it works after 11 years, they lobby the hell out of them. And
Well, the same reason they would allow canola oil in the United States.
Yeah.
After genetically modifying it and not growing the canola plant, then they would allow it to be sold in the United States.
I think what is important is that we learn. Knowledge is power, and to read labels. I have some questions in the platform, but I have one that I want to throw really quickly to amazing Toyin. It's not even a question. Somebody wrote in the platform chocolate, and I remembered your chocolate incident when we were in class. So, so he loves dark chocolates, and he got this chocolate that was what? It was the chocolate was natural.
The baldi or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was natural and everything was natural. I looked at it and I said, can you look at the sugar content? You know, how much sugar does it have? He said, no, he says no sugar. It doesn't have any sugar. I said, it is camouflaged in there. How much sugar does it have? And he looked, and how many grams was it?
Well, I don't know. I have to go get it because I haven't eaten it since then. I stopped eating.
So he found out what I feel that we should learn from, that conversation is that he found out that this chocolate has significant amount of grams of sugar, and it's marketed that it doesn't have any sugars. So even though things are marketed somehow, it is important that we read labels. Sugar is also camouflaged in different ways. High fructose corn syrup, Dr. Jagbe has talked about that.
Yeah, it's got 2 grams of sugar per serving.
2 grams of sugar per serving. Can you imagine? And it's marketed as sugar.
Natural, yeah, and it's not even natural sugar. It's probably that's added sugar.
Exactly. So please read labels and stay away from high fructose corn syrup. It's another way that things are camouflaged. The reason we're talking about this is because there's a lot of diabetes and the numbers are rising. Our knowledgeable researchers have told us that numbers of newly diagnosed diabetics is just going to skyrocket. So what causes this? High fructose corn syrup is a big one, and a lot of these sugars that are added into foods. So thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution, sir. And thank you for all you contributed in the class. It was fantastic.
This thing is on CNN, actually. This is the tomato.
Chai.
So it's just
look like tomatoes.
It's coming to the US. So I guess since the government now approves it, they will start exporting it to the grocery store near you.
I bet you the government is going to look more into it. US is very particular about what comes in.
Well, they just approved it because after 11 years, they finally relented. It was developed by some British biochemists. University of East Anglia. Yeah, it's coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, according to this, she's been working on it for 20 years. So.
Okay. Let's all watch out. Let's do more research on that. Let's see
what's the soup going to look like. If you cook soup with that, what will it look like? It will be like green.
It'll be purple. That's my color. I love purple. It's got to be purple. So that is interesting. We'll stay tuned. And we'll stay tuned. We'll talk more about it in the future as things roll out. So, Dr. Booker has a question, Dr. Gillum. Why wait 40 minutes to drink water after a meal?
Okay. When you eat, your body produces digestive enzymes, first in the mouth, which digests your starch. And if you're eating anything that has protein, then your stomach starts producing more hydrochloric acid. When you drink water right after you eat, you dilute those enzymes and you dilute those digestive juices in your stomach. And a lot of people wonder why 5 hours later and they're still feeling full. It's because they've shut off the process of digestion by drinking water or any other liquid, especially cold liquids, right after eating. So you should wait. You should drink your liquids beforehand, wait 30 minutes, and then eat, or eat and then wait 40 minutes till after you eat to drink liquids.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
But talking about tomatoes, if you can see these purple ones, I just picked them from my garden. And
Yeah,
they're
the
kind
heirloom
of
tomatoes.
That's what she was
Yeah.
talking about. Dr. Gillum
Yeah,
just
that's what
said it, that you have purple
heirloom.
tomatoes, yellows, the heirloom.
Paul Robeson, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, heirloom tomatoes. So
Yeah.
we
She
already
just
have
said
purple tomatoes. So why create?
I don't know what it, but these are they're growing now, so I'm picking them daily.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and heirloom are better because that means the seeds have been passed down from generation to generation, so they have not been modified or diluted with other seeds or the stuff that Monsanto, they were paying people to not grow different seeds. Monsanto had like a patent on certain seeds, and farmers couldn't grow their own seeds or save their own seeds. So now the heirloom let you know that you can pass the seeds down and they have not been modified.
Nice. She just talked about it, that then why do the GMO purple? I don't know. I think he adds more color. So there's another question. Is soya oil good for cooking? You are muted, Dr. Gillum.
I know, I was just shaking my head because we talked a lot about fats and oils in our sessions, and no, soybean oil is highly processed. So, and most of the time it's not expeller or cold press. We talked about the process that they create oils, and most of the best oils are expeller press or extra virgin, which means it's the first press of the oil. Like olive oil is extra virgin if it's the first press. So soybean oils, corn oils, and those type of oils, canola oils, are highly processed, and they use a lot of times they use certain chemicals to extract the oils from the vegetable. So no, that's on the hit list of no, don't use. No, don't use.
Thank you so much. There's another question. Is tilapia fish so bad that one should stop eating it?
It depends. Like when I was in Ghana, it was freshly caught. When you get most of the tilapia here, it's farm raised, and that's why it ends up being lower in the variety of omegas. It's because they raise them on the farm, and they're not in their natural habitat. So when you go to other countries where the tilapia is fresh caught or wild caught, then they get a variety of different things that they can eat from the ocean. So you get, I don't know if they've ever checked the difference between the fish caught from the oceans off the coast of Africa or the fish caught in the farm fisheries. But I'm sure that is a big difference between what you get here and what you get there. And most of it's because they're swimming in their own waste. The farm raised fish.
I found out about tilapia fish actually on a board exam, family medicine board exam, where they listed some fishes and then asked which one is not a good fish to eat. And I looked at them like, there's no fish that is not good to eat.
Right.
Are good to eat. At that time, I didn't know. I looked at it. I think it had red snapper, tilapia, croaker. It didn't have catfish. I remembered there was no catfish there. So I was like, what fish is not good? Well, after the exam, I went to check and I found out that the only fish that does not have omega-3 fatty acid, which is what you want in fish, is tilapia. The answer was tilapia. So that was when I stopped eating tilapia. That, I mean, what's the point? There are many other options. Why eat something that I'm not going to get maximum nutritional benefit from? So that was my deal there.
Sorry, does anyone ever see tilapia before they put it in the fillet? You would not eat it. Honestly, I don't buy the fillet. I saw it before. It's black, it's ugly. If you ever see it before it's fillet, you would not eat it.
Chai, really? So I think we got the message. Abio is asking what GMO stands for. Is genetically modified organisms?
Organisms, yes, organisms.
So she said, we don't have purple tomatoes in the UK market yet. Oh my gosh, that's my sister. That's my biological sister. I didn't realize, I have different Abios. He said they don't have the purple tomatoes in the UK yet, but they do have white and purple carrots. Okay, so palm wine, somebody said. Palm wine? We talked about palm wine, didn't we?
Yes, we did talk about palm
class.
wine.
We talked about palm wine. Palm wine is excellent. But one glass for a woman, one wine glass for a man, maximum of 2 wine glasses a day, no more. Brother Benjamin said, here at home, our people here are not too careful about their eating habits. They're at home in Nigeria. They prefer to visit fast food restaurants than cook their food. Actually, that's a change. It's a change in our culture where our people are now going more to fast food places than, eating the authentic organic foods. Thank you so much for your comment, because that is true. And a question says, since oil and canola oil is bad for you, what oil should we use for frying? I think I listed that. Dr. Gillum?
Avocado oil. Mm-hmm. Avocado oil is good for frying.
Grapeseed oil?
Grapeseed oil.
Coconut oil?
Coconut oil, of course. Coconut oil is good for everything. Hair, skin, cooking, eating. Good for everything. It's antibacterial, antifungal. Yeah, coconut oil is like kind of a panacea of oils.
The test is if you can't put it on your skin, don't eat it.
Right. If you can't put it on your skin, don't eat it. And if you put it on your skin and it just sits there, then you know there's something wrong.
Oh, if you put it on your skin and it sits there.
Right. That means it's like, remember when you used to use Crisco? You put a glob of or butter, the margarine.
Yeah.
If you take a teaspoon of margarine and you put it on your skin and it doesn't melt, you don't eat it.
Cool. That's a good one. Dr. Akitonde says air frying is strongly recommended, and yes. I agree. So,
well, that's subject to prove, because the inorganic fire, just like the microwave, the heat that is generated, we're going to come back in 5 years to find out what this air frying and the microwave effect is. So I don't know if it's not natural cooking, wood cooking, stove cooking on the pot. I'm a little apprehensive about rating it as the best method of cooking.
And you know what? You're right on point there. We get knowledge every day. I will not be surprised if this air frying, like microwave gets a bad rap later. I don't know. But I know that Dr. Gillum does not use microwaves.
No.
He doesn't cook anything in She doesn't cook anything in microwave. She doesn't warm food up in microwave. She doesn't. So Madam CEO, you're right on the money. Dr. Jagbesa, you have your hand raised.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I can see that people have had so much fun with this program, and it's very plausible that it wasn't a situation where you are just stroking each other's egos, but the fact that you actually benefited a whole lot from the program. Dr. Gillum, great job. I know there are some things that have been raised, and I don't want to belabor them, but let me start with the air frying. Before I got involved with air frying, I did my little research on that based on what was available regarding air frying. And I was the one that introduced it to a lot of people.
Including me.
So the question that Madam Lara raised shouldn't come to the forefront, because what is being done with air frying is simply adding a fan to your conventional oven. So your conventional oven doesn't have a fan in it. What it does is it heats, and it heats from the bottom up. It heats the air within the oven, and that is how the food is being cooked, because the heat or the temperature is maintained at a particular level. If you set it at 375, it stays at 375 if your oven is working properly. Now, for air frying, they've pre-programmed temperatures for certain food materials, so that when you cook it according to the temperature and the time set, your food will not be overcooked. And the most important part of the air frying is not that it's generating any kind of microwave. It is not. It's heating elements with a fan circulating the hot air, so that there's even distribution of the heated air within the chamber while the element is on. So that's the way the air frying works. So it doesn't have any kind of microwave or anything like that to denature the food that you are eating. The effect is just like any other baking. It's just that it becomes faster rather than waiting until the temperature hits from the bottom up. And, so it just circulates it. The moment you press on, the temperature, attained temperature circulates evenly within the chamber. And that's why they are not making it so big. Although recently they are making full-size ranges with the option of having air frying. Those ones are pretty expensive right now, but it's available if you don't want to buy the tabletop or countertop air frying. As a disclaimer, I don't have any business interest in any of the products. And just to let you know, it's something I've done research on just for my own consumption and to be able to share with other people who might be confused about what it is that they are getting into. So I would say, based on the available information, that air frying is safe.
I would agree.
Is safe.
I agree, because I just stepped into the 20th century and bought an air fryer. I wouldn't.
All right. So we're gonna hold both of you accountable. I know that Dr. Adjei is very good with research, so thank you for that assurance. Because the things I don't know.
No, okay. So what I need to let you know is this: my journey with lifestyle change started in 2009 when I got a very bad medical report about my food allergies. And that made me to become very astute as regards what I ingest and what I don't. I did almost all the research that I need to do concerning oils. And of course, there will always be controversy as to which one is which, depending on who is paying the marketing fees. Those who are selling olive oil will say that palm oil is bad because they want to get their product to be number one. And you see, everybody keeps telling us that their product is number one. So how many number ones can we have? There's only one number one, but everybody wants to say that they are the number one. And it's how much marketing that goes out there to convince the masses that will determine their bottom line. So everybody is looking for the best marketing firm, those who can spin the truth or falsehoods to make people still spend their money willingly. Because I know everything you buy that is bad for you, you are buying voluntarily. They're not forcing it on you. So that's the key. When you go to the when you're talking about the lifestyle changes, they are not just reading the labels, but just knowing that some things you can do without. You don't have to have everything that people say you should have just because you have the money to buy it. Everything should be done to moderation. I know that must be part of the lifestyle change. I did develop some things which I would like to share with you. I'm not trying to take over your program today, but I wanted to add a few things to what has been said. I created a system about 4 years ago. The components of the process include anytime you want to do a lifestyle change, to have a baseline, which means get a medical checkup, know what your status is right now. Then you should identify the perceived causes of anything that is been happening to you based on your physical checkup. The next one should be, I think this one is very important. Most of us don't even know whether we love ourselves or we don't. We say it verbally that we do, but until you sit down to try to compose a letter to yourself, a love letter to yourself, that's when you know, boy, I really don't know myself. I really don't know much about what I want for me until you sit down to compose that. So I think that's a very important key to take note of. Write yourself a love letter, like you're writing to somebody you love outside of you. Identifying, making a list of foods that you are addicted to. If you know there are some foods that you're addicted to, make a list of them. And then make a list of the carbohydrates that you cannot do without. Now, all of these things are very important because when you are trying to do a lifestyle change, if you are addicted already and you don't want to break the addiction, you're not going to really have a successful lifestyle change. Then the next thing is that you make a list of all the foods that you are taking that you know contains high fructose corn syrup. So because those are the ones that you want to really change. Because I don't think it's very efficient for you to spend 3 hours trying to read labels and come out of the store with nothing, because now your eyes are open. But if you are able to make a list ahead of time of those things that you know specifically have high fructose corn syrup in them, you're not going to waste your time reading those labels. You already know you're not going to go there. Now, the other thing that you need to think about is making a list of alcoholic beverages consumed. Yeah, one of the participants already said, well, it's good to have your bubbles burst by the fact that because alcohol is made from plants, doesn't make them vegetables. Yeah, same way we can say chocolate is not salad. So you just have to bear in mind what it is that you really want to change. Now, if you don't identify them up front, it will be very difficult. Now, the next thing I said is to do is identifying the portion. Portion sizes are very important when it comes to lifestyle change. Relating to food, most people, they can't be satisfied with only one piece of meat because they think they look poor. The only way they can feel really affluent is to see that they have all kinds of orishi on their plates, and they are very excited about that, which accounts for why most people are going to Mama Put or to the roadside food seller in some parts of Africa now.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm not going. I'm just saying. And then the other thing is, how much caffeine do you consume? Because that creates a vicious cycle, because if you're constantly drinking a lot of caffeine during the day, the chances of you sleeping well at night is very slim. And then you wake up in the morning feeling groggy, and then you drink more coffee, and then the vicious cycle continues. So you have to determine when to cut the umbilical cord for caffeine ingestion. Then the next thing is how much red meat you consume, and then you may decide, to reduce them gradually, as you heard one of the participants sharing with us, who is shifting gradually from only steak to some fish, and then eventually probably will graduate to only fish. And then we can't talk too much about the oils. There's always going to be controversy about it, but as of now, the safest ones that can withstand heat will be, avocado oil, and then grapeseed oil. And the coconut oil. Those are the three main stable oils at very high flashing points. And then, of course, part of the lifestyle change is how sedentary or how active you are. If you know you are not very active, you got to do something about that. You got to get up, even if it's just walking. Walking is good for every system of the body. Works the muscles, gets the blood circulation going. It's a form of aerobics because every time you go out in the fresh air, you walk long distance, briskly, you are exchanging oxygen for carbon dioxide at a faster rate, and your body gets the benefit with the release of all kinds of chemicals that gives you, kind of pleasure. Endorphins, for instance, is released when you do very good exercise. Well, thank you. That's all I wanted to add to the contribution.
Thank you so much. That was superb. Thank you. Much appreciated, sir.
You're welcome.
As usual. So before I ask Sister Tina to speak, there's a question on salmon. Dr. Gillum, what about farm-raised salmon? Is it good to consume?
I wouldn't eat any farm-raised.
One second. Okay. I want to complete the question. This is our First Lady Judith asking this question. She said she always gets wild caught or Alaskan, I think it's sockeye salmon. So yes, comment.
Yes, anything that's farm raised is usually not good for you because of the animal or the fish being contained in a small area as opposed to living in its natural habitat where it's getting the variety of organisms that it eats. So yes, wild caught, Alaskan sockeye, I don't know, the jury's out on Atlantic salmon because I know what's in that Atlantic Ocean on our shore. I don't know about on other shores, but I know during the industrial age there was a lot of stuff poured into that ocean. So if they can find some pristine waters somewhere north of the United States and catch salmon in that area, I would say okay. and like I said, Alaskan salmon, and well, we have river salmon here in California. So a lot of people buy the river salmon that runs up the rivers in the American River. And the waters are really cold, just like it is up in Alaska. The waters get really cold. And then during certain seasons, they're allowed to fish them. So we have salmon right here in California.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dr. O, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Because we're talking about Atlantic Ocean. That's all we got in Nigeria. So all the fish in that water is polluted.
No, I was just saying on our shore, on our shores, the United States shores, most of the industries that came during the Industrial Revolution were on the East Coast before they started moving west. So not in Africa, West Africa, because there's nothing really there where they've actually without restraint poured stuff into the ocean. So here they were not constrained by anything at first until someone found out that stuff they were pouring in there has long-term effects on people's health.
Thank you. Sister Tina, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask, so for the is it good to be on a treadmill, or that's not a good thing?
Okay, Dr. Gillum.
No, she's just showing off. You're showing off. we know the answer to that.
I want to be on a treadmill right now. Go ahead. Go ahead. She says, is it good to be on a treadmill? Is it?
Well, I used to go to the gym a lot. Like,
is it good to be on a treadmill?
Well, I don't know about breathing in everybody else's breath while you're exercising.
Are you thinking of COVID?
No.
Dr. Adjei, could answer the question, sir.
No, it's not about COVID. It's about freshness of the air.
Fresh air.
The fresh air that you get when you do outside walking is not the same that you get when you are in restricted space. Mm-hmm. And they don't even use the kind of filter that will keep the air fresh every so often. So look at it, they are doing business. It's a business venture, and they're not about everything to the letter. They do the minimum standard. Minimum standard is keep certain distances between equipment, keep certain number of people within the space. But when it comes to you getting the maximum out of your exercise, fresh air is still the best way to do it. And if you must do walking, why do it on a treadmill? When you can do a long brisk walk, not only are you soaking in the beautiful sights of nature, you also get in fresh air with it. So I'm not knocking anyone who has a gym investment or anyone who has paid so much money to be in a social class in a particular gym. If you have the money, go for it. But if you're thinking about health and lifestyle change, the best choice to get fresh air while you're exercising is do it outside.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Dr. Gillum agrees. So Danielle, amazing, one of our children, is thinking about her parents. She said they love their plantains. And that was why she asked about the oils. Abby said she didn't even think people were still frying stuff. And then she said she grills her plantains, but lightly spray with any light 1-calorie oil spray. Dr. Gillum, comment. What is 1-calorie oil spray?
I don't know. I just put, I cooked plantain yesterday and I cooked it in coconut oil. Just a little bit of coconut oil on the bottom of my iron skillet. just enough to keep it from sticking to the pan. And it was so good and sweet. And I would love to have one right now. It was very.
No, you're making my mouth water because that's my most favorite food in the world. Daniel, I'm with your parents. I love plantains.
Yes.
Fried, boiled, cooked, what have you. I love it.
Yes. I've even made my plantain in the oven, the air fryer.
Yeah.
I just keep in the skin, keep it in the skin, and I just put it in the air fryer and let it cook in the air fryer with the skin on.
Oh, we do it without the skin on.
And well, I do it with, depending on how ripe it is, I'll do it with the skin on.
Yeah.
And then take it out and then mash it like sweet potato. Mash it, put a little coconut oil on it.
At that point, you can even put olive oil because
Yes, you can put olive oil on it.
So,
excuse me. Well, that means what you're doing is you are actually cooking the plantain in its own water without you adding any water to it. This is natural water within the plantain and the peel that cooks it all the way through.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for that recipe. I'm going to try it and I'll post it. So somebody commented that they see people eating back home in Africa, hot dogs, and even adding it to their meals. I agree. I haven't really seen that, but I agree that, we're shifting to poor diet back home because I see a lot of Indomies. There's this thing called Indomie that is like noodles, very salty. I see a lot of families feed it to their children, and it's really scary. So, Dr. Jagwe,
for those who would,
you, go ahead.
So for those who would even think about eating a hot dog, I just want to add this: hot dog is whatever they have left over that's indistinguishable from the meat. They grind it very fine so you can't tell what it is. Then they put it in a casing and they sell it to you as food. It's whatever they can't distinguish, like it's fat and whatever, but it's ground really fine so that you can't tell what it is. So hot dog would be the last. My friend had to put her dog down because she was feeding the dog hot dog. So even for an animal, I wouldn't recommend feeding a hot dog.
Wow.
And more so, they put a lot of preservatives in it to prevent it from going bad early. Yes, unfortunately, there's the African elites, so-called elites, the younger families, because they do a lot of watching on the maybe on the web or whatever, seeing what is available out there, and thinking anything that is from the Western world shows that they are in a better class. So feeding your child with hot dog in Nigeria is based on lack of full understanding of what you are truly choosing for your children. Now, if it's morally, I think it's a very unfair decision. But if it's based on ignorance, they need to find out before they feed their children with such things. I don't think, I know I ate hot dog before I knew what it was made from. And once I saw the preparation of it, and I saw that even China is gaining a market share in shipping hot dogs to the United States, then I know that it's more scary because anything goes in China to make any of the food stuff. So if they made their hot dogs from rats, from chicken wings and all those stuff, you don't know about it because everything is ground into. In fact, I think I've seen a video clip of that a while back, where a whole dead, well, of course, they have to be dead before they do anything. A whole dead cow was put in a grinder, and they actually got all the product at the end and made them into things that look like sausages and hot dog. And I know that is going to go into most of the markets in Africa, because if FDA does a good job here, I don't think we have such meticulous counterparts in Africa to actually tell us what people are spending their money on. If Nigeria could sell synthetic rice until some of these things came out of social media and they began to become more astute about what rice comes in from China, many people were buying stuff, even artificial fish. It looks like fish, but when you cook it, then that's when you know, this is not fish, what is this? So in Africa, we need to be very careful. And I think I mentioned some time ago also the fact that people like to eat cow skin. Cow skin in itself is good because of the gelatin. It has a lot of collagen in it. However, the way it's being prepared and preserved in some parts of Africa is very deplorable. And some of them now use, formaldehyde, because formaldehyde prevents it from getting rotten. Formaldehyde, for those who don't know what it is the embalming fluid that they use to embalm dead bodies. And so if they put their cow skin and soak it in that, it becomes more plump and it stays longer without getting rotten. And if you eat that, you're eating poison directly. So if you don't know where the cow skin has been, don't buy it. If you must eat cow skin, do it yourself. Buy the raw one, singe it, and then prepare it the way they normally prepare it. Then you'll be much healthier that way.
Well, even with the FDA's intervention, because we talked about grass, generally recognized as safe. We talked about that when we talked about additives and dyes and stuff that they put in our food. There's a statement called grass, generally recognized as safe. And that's a long list of thousands of chemicals that aren't necessarily good for us. And that's recognized by the FDA as recognized as safe, but not necessarily safe. So even within the United States, where the FDA is the standard, or they provide the standard for healthy, there are a lot of things that they consider natural that, you know, we talked about all those things in our sessions about natural as opposed to stuff, and some of the stuff they actually put in our food.
Formaldehyde, I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to say though that I've been guilty. I praise God for Medical Mondays with Dr. O. I thank God for all I have learned, and I'm still learning on it, because I fed my children hot dogs when they were growing up. It was quick. It was a staple food. I didn't know what I know now. After this program, I'm going to call them and apologize to them, because I feel like I fed them poison, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to call and apologize. So I have questions here. People are asking about how about pepperoni meat on pizzas? So what about burgers? So Dr. Fawole said, so she heard about Chinese food, soy chicken, you know, and all of that. Sister Lola, go ahead. You have the floor, because you asked one of the questions, I'm sure.
Yes, pepperoni on pizza. Can somebody please explain? Then from the last time, I think about 2 weeks ago, the doctor mentioned to check our water. I don't want to mention the name of this large company that have their own brand, I think distilled water. I discovered they have sodium chloride in it. And you can even taste it sometimes. So I returned all the water and I'm staying now on their pack.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Okay, that one's new on me. You see, reading labels.
Well, the water's not regulated. Bottled water is not regulated here in the United States.
Yes.
So they can say, well, it's purified, and then we add something to it to give it flavor, but that's not regulated. So you don't know if it's tap water or what kind of water is in those bottles.
I know that water is not regulated in the US. I don't think water is regulated anywhere in the world. So,
well, I think everybody is pushing the envelope when it comes to the issue of water. If there is no standard put in place as to what the pH should be, as to what should be put inside the water that constitutes nutritional, supplements, then everybody's pushing the envelope, from carbonation to adding electrolytes to adding all kinds of stuff, even fruit flavors and pigments, and all of these things are being done because, like everybody's saying now, it's not regulated. Now, if the consumers are showing up, this is what you have to bear in mind. Consumers are proving the point that what these people are doing is acceptable by their dollars. They are voting by their dollars. Now, because when you listen and you compare the bottom line and see the annual sales and profit margins that these companies are making, then you cannot truly blame FDA. Because if FDA says it's even bad, but you are choosing it by, you spending your own money to buy those things, it doesn't even matter what the FDA says.
Technology that didn't exist at the time of the crime.
So,
well, a lot of times people don't know what those acronyms mean. They don't know a lot of the things that they say there's no sugar, but when you read the labels, it says maltodextrin, malted this. A lot of people read that and say, oh, no sugar, but actually there is sugar in other forms.
Yeah, but it's the consumers that need to be watchful. Now, if there are no advocates among the consumers who are like the watchdogs, then there is nothing that the government will be able to do, because they claim to be under whatever they don't have enough employees to do their job. So enforcement is a big problem.
I would say, whichever way we slice it, the US tries.
Yeah, we know that.
Is it in automobile? Is it in, the US, you have to have specs. The United States tries. So what we're talking about is we being more conscious of our environment, being more knowledgeable of what is going on so that we can put the right things in our bodies. The government cannot do this for us. Nobody can do this for us. We need to learn what is out there, what will be beneficial to our systems, and avoid things that aren't beneficial, is what I would say. So that being said, there's a lot posted here about burgers and sausages. They all come from the same place. But Dr. Fawole kind of summed it up, that growing your own food seems to be the healthy way to go. I will rephrase that it doesn't seem to be the best way. It is the best way to go. The issue is for people like us in the East Coast, we have that, we have winter that a lot of things will not grow. So you guys in the West Coast, you need to partner with us to grow and, do what Auntie Tawa did for me. dry up the leaves and mail it to us. Amazing, Toyin, sir. You have a question? Go ahead.
So,
There you go.
Dr. Jagbe stated earlier, in line of what you said, as to the U.S. is trying, is that the government maintain a minimum standard, universal for everybody, to look at that standard and see if it's enough for us or fit our.
You are breaking up.
Particular interest.
You are
because the
breaking
government
up.
cannot police within.
You broke off again.
Minimum standard. What are they going to put it out there? Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Now. We can hear you now.
So if it meets the minimum standard, the government is going to put it out there. So that's that's the bottom line, right? And then the other thing I want to say is that
yes.
In most seminars or webinars that I go to, people start dropping out after 1 hour, and I've been looking at the numbers, right? I think we started with like 48 people, then it went to 47, and we're still 44. It's almost 2 hours. That's the value of this program, because where can you even get this kind of information from people that volunteer to give it to you without seeking any anything in return? They're just giving it to you, and it's so valuable. You could see that people are still here. It's like they want more. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Dr. Jagbe, for your contribution. Thank you, Dr. Gillum, and Dr. O especially. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for showing up every week and always contributing. We appreciate you. We all make this. We all are making it happen. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge, and we're bringing you up to come impart some of those financial stuff on the forum sometime, because it's part of health. Thank you, sir. So I read here on the forum that Costco is being sued for improper management of their famous rotisserie chicken. Knowledge is power. Dr. Fawole says, what you don't know can kill you. And they said to also be careful, guys, with Costco Kirkland purified water. That's the one that is salty. So Abby, though, thank you, because she wants Auntie Toweh to tell us how she dried the bitter leaf and sent to me. Auntie Toweh, are you here, ma'am? Something important must have happened, like Madam CEO, a few people have private chatted me tonight because they have something important going on. I think so. It's Auntie Toweh.
I'm here.
Auntie Toweh is here. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, it's not biggie.
You know why I said that, Auntie Toweh? Because you're always here till the end. So I'm like,
no, I'm here. It's only that I'm cooking my bolly while you're talking. Exactly the way they were saying, it's in air fryer. So I keep going back and forth.
I see bolly posted on the platform. That's roasted plantains. Fantastic.
Yeah. But the bitter leaf is not too hard. And actually, I'm going to harvest another one. I harvested some last week, Wednesday. I'm going to do another one tomorrow, Wednesday. And I have all of them cut up. I didn't put them in the sun because I don't like them turning brown. I want them to maintain the green something. So I have some. I don't know whether you people will be able to see it. Give me 5 minutes.
Fantastic. So the bitter leaf she sent me is still green, and I'm not in this section of the house that, where I have it. I would have shown it to you. Dr. Jagbe.
I don't know whether you are able to see it. I have black trays.
We see it.
They will just dry up and that's it. You cut it into small, as you are cutting a 4, a go or tete. And you just leave it inside and they will dry up. And that's the end. Nothing big about it.
Do you wash them when
Yes,
you
I
take them
do.
off before you start drying. Okay.
Yes, I wash them. I put them in something like a sift, the one that has oil, so the water can drain out. Then that's the end of the story, and you just leave them alone and they'll dry.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. See, and Abby says they do not rot underneath.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Because you leave them inside that sifter and let the water drain out. And when you put them there, the only thing every day I try to just turn them over, because the one on the top will dry faster and the one at the bottom may not. So you just roll them over and they'll dry.
The key is to make sure that you drain it, because if it has water in it, then
it'll rot away.
Yes. So that's
I have a question then. So I buy bitter leaf, but it's the color is black.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up with that?
It in the sun. When you put it in the sun, they lose their chlorophyll, they turn black.
Okay. So don't even use those ones then.
Yeah, you can use them.
Right?
The chlorophyll, everything is still inside. It's just the color. I like it green when I use it on anything.
Okay.
I love it when it is green, so I like to keep the green color.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie Tower.
You're welcome.
Just learn something.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually,
Doctor, go harvest mine right now and do what Auntie Tawa just did, because it's like rotting in my garden.
You cannot let it rot too.
Like they drop off, so because I didn't know what to do. I used to put them in the freezer. Now I can actually dry them.
I'm telling
Uncle Toyin,
I have too
Uncle
much.
Toyin, I'm going to be in Southern. Uncle Toyin, I'm going to be in Southern Cal this weekend, so don't throw them away. I can use them.
Okay.
Don't worry. You know what? Maybe my way will pass through Dr. O's site, and I can bring some package, and you can give it to anybody you want. I have so much.
Fantastic. Look, you're welcome here anytime on my side. You know, we Marylanders, we love people. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, Auntie Tawa.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Let me just add one.
Not Dr. Jagbe, 1 minute, please. Mrs. Atewa Logun. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I won't mind to bring the limousine to come and get you, Mommy, Mommy Drojaye, to get some of the bitter leaf. So I'm interested. So
you will have more than enough.
I'm in Maryland too.
I'm cutting some down tomorrow morning, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm
interested, man. So, Mommy, so we'll see in church or wherever it is you want me to meet you, so I can get some too.
Where are you? Are you in Maryland?
Yes, Mommy. Yes, I'm in Maryland.
He's in Maryland, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we
He's
go to
my
the
darling
same church.
baby.
So I don't mind. I come pick her up and take her to wherever. I don't mind. I'll be the chauffeur, so I can get some of the bitter leaf. I'm interested, man.
You will. That's a promise. And you know what? You will. That's a promise. Once Auntie Tawa brings it, and she doesn't forget to.
Oh, are you telling me now that I'm too old? I'm going to start forgetting?
No, I said you don't forget.
I'm young.
I'm saying you don't forget. So, you know what? You are cooking boli. So is Dr. Fawole. Can you believe it? They both cooking boli to make a mouth water. Dr. Ajagbe, go ahead, sir. You had something to say, sir.
Well, I just wanted to kind of simplify the whole process of drying herbs. We used to do it upside down, like you bundle them and hang them upside down if you want to preserve the color, and then you put them in a dark room, in your kitchen, somewhere that is away from the direct sunlight. But it's also possible to do the same thing indoors, just like she just demonstrated to you in those cooking sheets or cooking trays. the important thing you must bear in mind is how you clean the leaves before you start processing them. You can use baking soda. You can soak them in baking soda. You can soak them in salt for a few minutes in order for you to be able to get rid of anything that could be adherent to the leaves. And you have to bear that in mind. You're not going to keep them overnight. You're just going to do it for about 15 minutes. And once you do that, you rinse thoroughly. And then you can put them on your chopping board and cut them into sizes so that they can dry quickly. Because once you cut the leaves, the moisture escapes very easily from cut edges, as compared to if you left the leaves whole. The ones that will rot are the ones that will be left whole, while the ones on top are blocking the evaporation of water from the bottom ones. Now, you can use a colander, which is what she was talking about. If you use a colander and you drain the water, it doesn't mean everything will be dry, depending on how long you left them in the colander. The most important thing is you can dry them over, paper towels. You can spread the paper towel at the bottom of the tray and before you put the leaves on top after you cut them. And all of this, the paper will absorb some of the water as well as the air drying some of the water. And that within 2-3 days, it should dry up indoors with no sunshine. And it's also been proven scientifically that the ultraviolet rays in the sun actually alters the constituents of the leaves if left long term in the sun. If you bought the ones from the store, most of the time they were sun dried. If they were sun dried, two things will happen. You have a lot of sand because they do not have a way of preventing dust from settling on them. And once the leaves are already dried, they cannot rinse them to get rid of the dust or even stones. And so that's why most of the time, when you buy these things from the store, you better wash them. In fact, the batch that I bought from the African store, and I stopped buying that particular brand, I rinsed them 7 times and I still had sand. And so if you know you are not going to turn your dried vegetables or herbs into powder, which then means you will grind the stone and everything else into it and become part of the powder, then you better do your own. Make sure you get somebody to help you process your herbs and your plants properly.
I still don't understand how he said you can turn it upside down.
Okay, what we used to do was we'll bunch the branches. Let's say you cut the branches with the leaves on them, all right? Mm-hmm. But you need the leaves to be dry. So the best way to get it dry is to hang them upside down. You don't hang them the other way around. You don't put them in a vase like you are putting a flower in your flower vase, for decoration. No, when you are drying to preserve the color and to preserve the content, you dry them upside down. But in fact, that's how they used to dry the tobacco. The tobacco for smoking. When you go to the tobacco farm, you see them. They hang them upside down to dry. And that's the normal, I think. Dr. Mike might be able to talk to us about agronomy and how they do some of these things. Does that mean
you wash it in the baking soda?
No, you already washed them. You already
washed them. But
you already cleaned them, but when you want to dry them, instead of cutting into small pieces, they will
the thing becomes like a broom. You
Yes,
tie it
it's like a broom. Exactly.
Yeah.
You punch
and you
them
hang
like
it
broom.
Dr.
upside down.
Adjei, 1 second, please, sir.
Go ahead, Brother Mike, please.
Brother Mike, Dr. Mike, sir.
Yeah, you tie the leaves together as if you are tying a broom. And then you hang it upside down.
Am I going to
as if you are using the broom to sweep. And the water will drain right down the cone to the ground like that, and it's very fast. You also have to allow free air to blow over. It also helps the drying. And it will be very green.
But while you are doing that, all the dust will come again and settle on them.
No.
It depends on where you dry them. You don't dry them where cars are passing by and blowing dust.
Okay, what I mentioned is you dry them indoors.
Exactly.
Most people dry them in the dark.
Indoors.
If you have
Yes,
like
correct.
storage, you dry them in your store. If you have a closet where you have shelves on them, you can tie them to the shelves and they hang down.
Okay, Dr. Adjei, we hang them
Yes.
inside, indoors. My deal is this. Washing these bitter leaves with baking soda and, you suggested
baking soda and
salt water.
You've suggested vinegar in the past too.
Yes, vinegar too.
Okay.
Yes.
In the past, salt water. For organically grown bitter leaf that Auntie Tawa is growing in a backyard, I've seen it. She has zoomed me in to look at it. Why do I need to wash it with baking soda when it doesn't have chemical?
Let me blow your mind about that.
Okay.
Unless you are on a mountain top and you are by yourself and you have no neighbor that is using pesticides on their lawn, if you have neighbors, you don't use anything on your lawn, but your grass is always very green. Where do you think your grass is getting the nutrients from? It's not organic. It's coming from your neighbor, because once the rain falls, the rain will drain. The drainage is such that, depending on the gradient of your land, there is no way you can put a demarcation between your grass and the grass of your neighbor. If they use chemical, you get chemicals. Whether you want it or not is irrelevant.
Sure.
So you better bear that in mind. Unless you are totally by yourself, you have no neighbor above your level of the gradient of your land, then you can say categorically that you are 100% organic. Other than that, you are not. You are getting residual from your neighbor. Your neighbors are surrounding you. They want their grass to be green. They are using Miracle Grow. They are spraying it. They are using Roundup. You think you don't have them because you're not spending your money to buy them, but you are getting them anyways. I mean, you're getting them because courtesy of the rain. Once the rain falls heavily.
Okay, thank you.
I
got the message.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. What about
it's like indirect smoking.
Yes, got it. So Vinci asked, what about freezing them? And Dr. Fawole asked, no freezing. Okay. It's not
freezing
the same
not
effect. It won't be the same. Okay. Vinci, freezing is not good. And Dr. Fawole said, should she do the same to Ewedu jute leaves?
To any vegetable.
To any vegetable. Okay, sir.
Whether you're using them as herbs or you're using them as real vegetables to eat, you can. Yeah. If you're doing it as herbs that you want, like you have thyme, or you have oregano, you have other herbs that you grow, like scent leaf and all of that. Your best bet is drying them indoors. This is what I do before I go to Nigeria. I will source those products straight from the farm and ask them to dry them using specific steps and help me get them ready so that when I get there, I'm not going to go start looking to buy. So if you know you have somebody in Africa who can do those things for you and you want something, because Auntie Tawa has bitter leaf, maybe you want something else. Maybe you want mango leaf. Maybe you want avocado leaf.
I don't think we're allowed to bring stuff like that from Nigeria.
Oh yes,
no, we are. I get them almost every month.
I brought them in, and I shared with you, Dr. O. I shared the Indian almond with you. Did I not?
Yes, you did last night.
Exactly. So
you can bring it if it's fresh. But if it's dried, you could bring it in.
Yeah, it was dried. Yeah. Okay, got you. So that's the difference. It cannot be fresh. So this has been amazing. You know, Abby says she always freezes the ones she brings back from Nigeria wrapped in newspaper and they stay fresh longer. I don't think we should do that. Don't wrap things in newspaper. It has ink.
It has a chemical there.
And chemicals that is used in the paper. So I don't think that's the appropriate thing to do. I think drying them like Auntie Tawa does. And also you brought them, they already dried. So why refrigerate them? The one Auntie Tawa gave me is in my closet. I take it from there and use it and put it in food, in smoothies and everything. So it doesn't need to be refrigerated because it's dried. So if you buy them fresh, you need to dry them. So we've had an amazing session. And you know that we're not establishing physician-patient interaction or relationship. This is a forum to learn and to grow, to better our health, to prevent disease entities, because it's better to prevent than to start looking for treatment or cures. I want to thank the amazing team we had in Health Matters 2, just like in Health Matters 1. You guys are incredible. I learned so much. And I also especially want to thank Dr. Gillum for just our heart. You know, let me tell you in a nutshell that everything we learned, Dr. Gillum posted in the Google chat so that we can access it anytime. She actually, had, sessions that she presented every meeting, and she was doing it for free. I just want to also, when I asked, she started laughing that I love to do this. This is what I enjoy doing. Come on, let's roll. Let's do this. And we did. I want to appreciate the team though, because at the end of it, guess what they did? They decided to gift Dr. Gillum, and they contributed significantly. So look at the amazing team we have. I'm so proud to be an African. I'm so proud to be a Nigerian. I'm so proud to be Nigerian American, and I'm so proud to be your family. I'm proud of the Medical Mondays family. This team came together and blessed Dr. Gillum. I remembered when Dr. Fawole presented what was gifted, Dr. Gillum went, wow. I heard her clearly. She went, wow. Because that's her. She just has this heart of giving. We have a phenomenal family here. The Medical Mondays with Dr. O family. I just want to thank every one of you. And again, Dr. Gillum and the Health Matters 2 group. Thank you. I've learned so much, not just in how to live, change my lifestyle, and the fact that I keep gaining brothers and sisters. I also learned how to give, how to love, and just that heart of giving, not being selfish. I can go on and on. I gotta stop. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming again this week. Till we meet again next week, I pray that the Lord will keep us safe, and we would have another amazing session next week. If you are interested in a particular topic and you've not heard it, please email me or text me if you are on the web, if you have my number, and let me know. We'll make it happen. We'll be the expert in that field by the grace of God. So till we meet next week, have a blessed night.
Thank you, Dr. Gilliam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Dr.